3 mistakes, 3 lessons learned, and 3 wins. Let's close out 2025 reflecting on the procurement of designer and luxury goods. And hopefully, you won't make the same mistakes I did, and you can learn from me and skip the regrets. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Lexi. If not, welcome back. Great to see you again. I talk about designer and luxury goods, helping you make a more informed purchase for what is probably a very expensive plunge. So, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you can see me again in a week. But let's get on to the video. So, we're going to go over 3 mistakes that I would say are borderline regrets. I will talk about a bit of a lesson in each, but then I really want to talk about the larger lessons when we get to that. Next, we'll talk about 3 wins, 3 things that I learned that I think are really helpful and, you know, I consider the peak wins in the designer luxury world for my life in this past year. And then 3, I'm going to end with the kind of 3 larger lessons. Take this as things that I've learned or pieces you can take away to help you on your journey. So first, let's talk mistakes. My first big mistake, this is not something that I scold myself over. These are, okay, you made a mistake. What are we going to do going forward? So around Christmas of last year, so this is bleeding into 2024, I was very fortunate in how work was going, how my life was going, and I decided to buy a luxury item. And then I bought another and another. And I bought far too many too fast. I didn't take the time, and I think I borderline regret one of the purchases at least because I was too rushed and I did too much at once. So, my first regret, or I would say mistake that I wish I would have learned from earlier, my Red Lady Dior. I still think this is a fabulous bag. I still love it. And thank you to one of my viewers who had a chat with me on this review bag, which I'll link below, about how she styles her red. I think this is beautiful. And in many ways, I don't regret this bag because I still love it and I think it's classic. I still melt. The color just does it for me. But I think it symbolizes a time when I bought way too many bags. I bought this. I bought a pink one. I bought a pink Lady Dior, so the same style bag. And then I bought like 2 other bags all in the span of a couple months. And to me, that's too fast. I really want to slow down, find out what I want, and curate my collection. So the first mistake was overbuying. Second mistake has to do with timing and trusting a sales associate. So I made a complete video on the review of this item, but basically a sales associate lied to me saying something was limited edition when in fact it was not. So I felt pressured to buy something when I would have rather had waited to purchase it and taken my time and bought it when it made more sense for me. It's still one of my favorite bags. However, I think the mistake was just taking her word and not doing my own research, not giving myself the break, not talking it through and deciding if it was really the right time because it wasn't. And so that means I shouldn't have bought the bag. Do I fully regret it? No, because I would have wanted this bag anyways. But my Coussin. So my Louis Vuitton Coussin, I bought this at a time only because the sales associate lied to me and said that it was going to be gone in the next couple weeks. And there was, very few left in Canada. It was limited edition and you buy it now or say goodbye, which was total bullshit and very disappointing to have from a sales associate. But that was my mistake. I need to do my research. I need to hold myself accountable and I need to pace myself. Third mistake, not nearly as big, but not buying higher, more expensive items when I am going to lose them. There's a few rings that I keep on at all times. I don't really wear big jewelry just because I do a lot of weights and athletics. And so I would have to take them off continuously if they're really big because my hands swell and they get pinched with the weights. So I had bought a gold version of this small one because it is just destroyed. It's just gold plated. And I bought a beautiful gold one at Missouri. Lasted about a week. I was washing my hands, and because it was higher quality, it was staying. This one's kind of all bent, but it's bent to the shape of my thumb, so it stays on really well. That was brand new gold. I spent like $100 on it. Gone in a week. Washed my hands at work one time and realized later in the day my ring was missing. So I clearly just washed it, and when I was drying, pulled it off. So, I might like these things. I might like these little accessories. I always love the hair clips, but I need to realize I am not the kind of person that can have them. I do not want to lose designer, luxury, gold, whatever, being careless, because oh, that was so stupid. So I'm not going to do that again. That was my third mistake. Now, wins. I have to do this to make myself feel better. And I'm learning. This is a process. So what can I say I was proud of or excited about, or things that I thought I'm really happy that I did in 2025? Of course, these are not like family or work related. We are talking designer and luxury. So let's stay in that topic. So first thing was knowing exactly what I wanted in a bag. So I went to my sales associate. I said, I want something sporty, fun, limited edition, colorful. I don't want the Murakami. I want something a little bit more rare. And I'll just know when I see it because it's got to fit my personal style. Boom! My favorite handbag ever. My Louis Vuitton Keepall 2020, or my Keepall 25. This is the perfect bag for me. It's everything I dreamed of. I love this bag. I also wanted something in canvas because I did want to not be terrified to use it. Especially, we have kids, we go outside, we do things. It's not like I'm going out to fancy things every night. And so I wanted something a little bit more workhorse, but everything that said my style words. And this was it. And there were so few, so it's so limited. It feels so special and unique to me. And this was my big win. So happy I purchased this. I think the second big win for me was taking the time to learn the colors for me and my style words. So I used a free website to tell me what kind of, summer, winter, fall, or autumn, or spring, so that I understood the color palettes that I should be buying, because I felt like I was aimlessly buying, and I love color. And so nothing really went together very well, or only certain things did, and it was hard to piece, items in my closet together. So I decided to kind of go on a style journey and refine that style too, so that, as I bought more expensive things, I knew they would be forever in my closet. And for some reason, I was like, I keep getting things that, why are they not fitting me? So I did a color analysis just on a free website. I think I'm deep winter. So basically, I have dark features, and it's very contrasting because I'm very fair skinned in contrast to my dark hair. And so that means crisp, deep, bright colors, whites, blacks, this red, and a lot of blues actually. And I never really wore blues, but I felt they looked good on me. And so that really helped me hone in, okay, now this is my palette. I look it up all the time. So if I purchase something, I'm like, okay, will this work with the clothing I have? And the other thing was style words. So Alison Bornstein, who's another YouTuber, I think she introduced this, but it's a different twist. There's a lot more to the 3 style words, but I came up with my own. And that allowed me to really hone in my style and realize that may be really cute and I really like it. Am I ever going to wear it? No. Will it go with anything I own? No. Is this something that I'm going to buy because I think it's really sweet, but it doesn't work for me? Yeah. So I'm going to leave it. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a video on how to incorporate that if you guys want to know. But that was the big win for me, was learning how to curate my style. And I would say the third, which is very similar, is learning to refine my closet. I, would go trigger happy at the Aritzia sales. And now instead I go ahead, I look at the things I want. Maybe I find 1 or 2 pieces that I didn't know I would, but I really look ahead and I keep those style words and the colors, and I have pulled back my closet. So I've sold a ton of things. If you watch my other video, I'm coming out with one on what I've sold this year. So really refining, what do I like? What do I not like? What goes together? How will this work together? I really want to use index to put my closet together so that when I buy something, I think, okay, will this fit with my closet? Is this direction I'm going into? I'm not so keen to make like a capsule wardrobe. I don't want to necessarily hyper limit myself, but I do want to be thoughtful with every piece I buy and not just go, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. It's about making that closet. Okay, and 3 lessons that I've learned. Some are kind of hard truths and some are slightly embarrassing to say, whether it's I didn't know or I've made that mistake. But bags don't hold their value. Maybe my Keepall 25 might because it was so limited. And sure, you get a Hermes, a Birkin or a Kelly. Yeah, that's going to go up in value. Those are different. But the average bag that you're buying is going to lose money. It's like a car, you lose money driving off the lot. Is this a bag you really want? Because you're not investing. And don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that you are, because you're not. And I think I fell into this trap of, oh, okay, I can buy these, more refined goods thinking, oh, I'll get my money back out of it if I want. You won't. Maybe if you buy really good deals or you buy pre-loved, but I wouldn't think of luxury items as investment pieces. That's a rarity and it's something to sell you on. And so you need to keep that in mind is, do you want this and are you willing to pay the price for it? Because I had the wrong attitude in the beginning and I think that's really changed the way I buy handbags. I think the second lesson is thinking about what it is I want and envisioning what it is I want from it and then seeking out the item. It's not aimlessly shopping where, okay, I really like this on the sale, or that's such a cute new handbag. It's like, okay, what do I feel like is missing from my collection? What do I really love to use in winter? With the Aritzia sale, I was like, I really want to invest in some good cashmeres. I really noticed that I love warm sweaters. My work runs cold, and I feel like it's classic with my little effortless pants. Boom. Allows for layering, usability, and so then from there, I thought, okay, so now I found the style I want and what I'm going to be looking at. What colors work in the palette? What am I really reaching for? What fit? And then finding it instead of just looking at stuff and buying it because you will never curate your closet that way. So you have to start with where's the hole or what do I want? Because we're still shopping. Yes, I have clothing. I'm going to live. I don't need to buy new clothes. But if I'm going to curate something that I really love because I love style, I love luxury, I love, investing in something, I like sustainability of a product, you need to think before you act. I think this is going to be really big with handbags because, again, I want to curate. And right now, I see 2 holes in my collection that I want, and one is a larger tote, and 2 is a cute shoulder bag. So I'd really love a Fendi baguette, and I know I'm going to want it in a very unique style. And then also the tote, I've been looking and looking, and now I'm thinking the Neverfull reversible. But if you have a good idea, please pop it in the comments below because I'm always looking for a fun, crumply tote. I'm not a big fan of the Gouillard, but something in that style, a little unique, a little fun. Let me know if you got a good idea. And I think the third is knowing my closet. I keep going back to these style words, these colors. I'm really wanting to, now that I've moved in, we had so much to do in this house. That's like, I know this is not a channel about houses, but oh my God, if I could tell you how crazy this move was and what these people, they literally lied on a receipt. They made a fake cleaning receipt. That's how wild this was. So, anyways, we're moved. I feel like it's my home now, hence why my hands are covered in paint. But now I want to spend the time to index my entire closet. I want to know what I own because I have like, okay, I really like white t-shirts, but I have like 6 different types. So I need to know when I'm shopping, I can be like, Lexi, you have pants just like this. You have a brown blazer. You don't wear it. This is really, really going to help me with moving forward. And the lesson learned is to know what you own because buying duplicates is just, maybe you're looking at the fantasy self and maybe you're being a little unrealistic as to what your style is. But knowing your closet and shopping your closet is huge. So that's another lesson I learned this year. All right. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have a lesson learned or you want to say a mistake to add a confession, I don't know, please pop it in the comments below. I love chatting with you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome week. Bye.